Good afternoon. Respected Chair, Co-Chair, dignitaries, and my fellow panelists here. At the outset, I would like to thank AFAM for inviting us to this forum and more importantly, organizing and putting all people together to discuss this, core issue of livelihood here. In ITC, we have been working on social investment or social development field. We don't call it social development or CSR because we started with very different philosophy saying businesses has larger purpose of creating social good or environmental capital or social capital. That's how we started in 1999. Just a second, sorry. I think I've gone ahead. Okay. So that's how we started, if you can put the presentation. So that's how we started some 25 years back. And in this journey of 25 years, we try to develop certain models which are either scaled by our own efforts through our partners or also scaled up through government partnership. We work with more than 100 NGO partners today in this country. And we have formally, in these 25 years, we have formally signed 98 public-private partnerships. Our first partnership was in watershed in 2005-06 in a district called Bhilwara under a program at that point of time it used to call IGDP. So that's the journey that we have seen. And in this journey, we have learned a lot of lessons. Some lessons are, which I am going to present here. One such model is on climate smart village program where we focus on building climate resilience to rural life. Unfortunately, I'm really sorry that I don't follow Marathi, so I can be a mix of Hindi and English for the benefit of the audience here. So this model is basically where we try to leverage a lot of government scheme. We work with the frontline government official, work with the NGO partners and all the operators who are operating in the ecosystem. So this is really an ecosystem approach that we have taken for a climate smart village program. So we all understand the challenges that we see in different sectors which climate change has basically poses. And all of us do our effort to help the communities to overcome these challenges. But the problem lies that most of those solutions are implemented in different sectors. The problem is that the way the problems are being listed here, those are vertical. What requires is a solution which cuts across these sectors and not just cuts across these sectors, but also converges at the household level, at a family level, because it's a family livelihood which matters. That's what we're trying to do through our two horizon social investment approach, we call it. It's a two horizon approach. In horizon one, we try to build the livelihood in which communities are dependent today, which means agriculture and allied sector, where we do work on natural resource management, climate smart agriculture. But simultaneously, we also build the capabilities for future because future is going to be very, very different. So that's where we work on human capital development, strengthen the public health and build the livelihood for the marginalized community, which is women, SC, STs or the PWDs. So I'll straight away come to the model of climate smart village program. It has 4 pillars. Pillars are very much known here: natural resource management, climate smart agriculture, livelihood diversification, and institutional linkages. So these are not something which are very new. The framework and the implementation of which it makes really unique model, I believe. We take up a cluster, and in that cluster, we first do a long-term and short-term climate risk assessment, which is done very scientifically with the local research agencies over there. Once these risks are identified, that a dialogue is created between scientists, government officials, communities together. There they identify what could be the possible solutions to the challenges that they are facing in these 4 buckets. So there will be not just one solution, but multiple solutions in each bucket. Thereafter, the implementation happens at the community or the individual family level, where a family can choose from these buckets saying, in natural resource management, my requirement is this, so I'll choose this intervention. Or in diversification, I'll go with the X or Y intervention. These interventions are chosen basis the basis three categories. Number one, the ease of operation. Number two, the cost of implementation. And third is sustainability. Because these three are most crucial. Once interventions are designed and implemented at an individual level, the attempt is that all households in that village should be saturated with those interventions in these four columns, in these four pillars. And a village, once this is done, a village is then evaluated basis two dimensions. One is yield and second is resilience, and which is very scientifically developed in collaboration with CGIR. And the resilience is measured against NDVI and the climate events, which is rainfall and temperature. So this is how the model is implemented. And idea is that the village should move from a low resilience, low productivity to high resilience and high productivity. So there are, you can imagine a four quadrant. So every village has to move from LRHY to HRHY. So this is how the model works. Now in some details of the pillars itself. So water we all know. So there are three rather, the natural resources in which we focus. One is of course water. Second is the biodiversity. Third is soil. In water also the focus is given on managed aquifer recharge. We all understand what is the role of managed aquifer recharge in climate change event. So I'll not get into that detail. The second component is climate smart agriculture, which is the second pillar. And we, again, many of us, we work in this field, so we know what are the technologies that can be promoted. But here, what we realize with our experience is farmer is interested in long-term climate resilience, but farmer is interested in a technology which can either give her or him higher income, or it can reduce the cost of cultivation. So what we do is, with the help of scientists and the universities, we try to optimize those solutions in a way that they help farmer to reduce the cost of cultivation, help them to improve the yield, and build the resilience for a long term. The third pillar is diversification, where each and every household is helped to choose from different on-farm and off-farm diversification options. It could be tree planting, animal husbandry, or a non-farm, or a mix of these two basis the kind of resources that they have or the government scheme which are available. The next pillar is institutional linkages. Here, every household has to be linked with the identified schemes in that cluster. So for any cluster, we identify four major schemes. Typically, these could be like Pradhan Mantri, Kisan Samman Yojana, Soil Health Card, insurance, or even simple like Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. So for all clusters, there will be four schemes for which every household we link so that they have an insurance whenever there is a climate event, their livelihood is secured. And it's not only that these pillars together can give a livelihood security. So, advisories are also important, whether these are climate advisories, market advisories, etc. And today in the era of AI and digitization, there are many solutions which are available. What we try to do is either work with the government platform, or we have our own platform. Some of you might be knowing that earlier we used to have something called eChopal. Now it's a eChopal 4.0 version, which is called ITC Mars. ITC Mars has two platforms. One is a physical platform, where a lot of FPOs are being onboarded, their capacity is built, they are given training on crop management, and it also has a digital interface. In digital interface, a personalized farm level advisory can be given through the platform. There are many players who are onboarded in the platform. These are seed companies, these are fertilizer companies who can sell their input to the farmer, and farmer can also choose through this platform. It also provides market to the farmer. If they want to sell to ITC, they can sell to ITC. If they want to sell to other players who are there in the platform, they can sell to others. So this is how the advisory works. Now, this is a journey that we have taken for Climate Smart Village program. And typically, we take a prototype, pilot, scale, and amplification approach. We developed this prototype with the CGIR, worked in few states. Then we scaled it up through our own resources in different states. And currently, we are working with various state government. Last 2 years, we have been working with the MP government, where we have a partnership with Ministry of Rural Development of Madhya Pradesh, as well as Agriculture Department, where we are training government officials to use this framework in designing and implementing these interventions to build rural livelihood, including Maharashtra. Maharashtra, we don't have a partnership yet, but we are trying to see if there is an opportunity. Now, I'll quickly take 2 minutes if the time is left. So this is how a village, this you can see a journey of a village. So this is one village in Amravati, which was rain-fed village. In 2021, there was a excess rain, 70% of kharif crop was lost. So in this, various interventions were designed. These are NRM intervention. There were climate smart technologies like BBF, line sowing with sprinklers, improved variety of climate resilient varieties were promoted. Livestock diversification was done because diversification really is a key here. Every household should have a diversification portfolio, and then institution linkages were made, because of which this village has now moved to a high yield, high resilience quadrant. Similarly, an individual woman who has gone through this process, So similarly, one individual woman who has gone through this process, she was practicing completely rain-fed agriculture. Now income has gone up by 3 times. This model not only helps in building climate resilience, it's also environmental friendly. And we have done studies in different places. One slide was there, somehow it's not coming up, where we have done a GHG emission of the models that we are implementing through Kanpur Atari. That's ICR Institute in UP. What we realize is it's improving the groundwater table there. It helps in reducing the GHG. It also helps in improving a farm or non-farm income of the farmer. So altogether, what we believe is, and all this is done through government convergence, because alone we cannot work in 12,000 villages with this kind of intensive model, because this model also requires a very long-term vision, very intense resources. So we try to, long-term vision we try to leverage whatever government resources are there or other players who are working in the ecosystem. We in fact are now sharing this toolkit with many other CSR. Very recently we have started training DCM Sri Ram Foundation, who shows interest in those, because we now want to multiply this toolkit to other places also. If anyone is interested, can come to our area. We will be happy to train them without cost, and that's what we are offering to many other players in the ecosystem. So we believe that with a collaborative effort, probably a solution best can be designed which comes across horizontally, not in this silos, and can help in building climate resilience to livelihood. So thank you so much again. Thanks to AFAM, and thanks for listening.